Previously on Dicemension.
I'm not really convinced of this adventure, but there's literally nothing else I can do as per usual.
As you walk out of the tavern, you see him off, laying in the back of a wagon.
He had the brilliant idea of fucking up everything again. So then Revel argued with him, and then he started pissing over on the town again. Then Revel heard him, and then she was about to kill him. So the result is this.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you wanted to go to our shop before.
Yeah.
It looks like a kind of witchy Tudor house. What she presents to you is a very beautiful horn. For a warring type, such as yourself, I would say that you can use this. I'm in need of something particular, and I would be willing to let you have this for 1/10 of the price if you could do it.
Do what?
Kill the Spider Queen. You have been given a gift. I have something for you that I think would be intriguing, and she sprinkles this dirt.
Okay.
You feel slightly anxious about the journey ahead.
Okay. Do I see him being down and be like...
Yeah.
Okay. So I walk up to him and I'm like, so what have you been doing?
Just contemplating how on earth I'm going to put up with all of you.
Oh.
So, you are about to start on a 2-month adventure through the southwest of the Unbound Territories. Do any of you have a map?
No.
No.
You don't have a map.
No.
No.
You don't know what way you're going. You don't even know where it is that you're going to.
The king sort of does.
So
Oh, wow,
how can you describe to me how your characters are feeling in this moment?
So do we have like horses, or how are we?
We are on a
proceeding?
wagon, I think.
Yes, so
Okay.
there are actually quite a few. So you have there are 2 main horses pulling quite a large cart with all of your bits and pieces in it that you're going to need for your journey, which is currently been tied up with just bits of patchwork fabric. And then you have 2 horses near the front. One is being ridden by Revel, and one is being ridden by the king. And then you 3 are currently in the carriage, which is at the back.
A carriage or just a car?
A carriage,
So
which
actually
has doors.
with doors and everything.
Mhm.
Wow.
It's quite a large carriage. You'd say that 2 of you could probably sleep quite happily in this carriage.
Wow.
So you 3 are all actually kind of sat like this, kind of at the back, facing the chef, who is currently just picking little bits of thyme and lavender into a little bowl in front of him.
He's so committed.
Look at that. He never stops working. He's an inspiration.
How are you feeling about this?
Yeah. Do you feel a bit better?
I feel a bit better. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel a bit ashamed actually about the way I behaved. I'll apologise to everyone. The battle got to me. I've never seen a man's head melt like that, and frankly, I'm a little bit disturbed.
I think you're gonna see way worse things, and they're amazing, but
Oh,
we shall see.
You're just teasing, sure. Even
That's
better
all
than
the
that.
good stuff there is in the world.
I can't wait to see
Yes!
that. Yes!
Anyway.
So walk around the bridge and all of that. So all good. How are you?
Okay. I'm a bit hungry, but I'm okay. I'm very sleepy.
As you say hungry, the chef kind of...
Oh no,
"Hun- hungry, my lady. I can make
No,
something
I have
something
to stop
quickly."
to eat because lately I'm just keep eating. It's just a bit stressful, I will be alright. I also have a little bit of dry meat that I know that you made because we went to the shop
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Alan gave it to us. So I have, every time I feel a bit hungry, I'm just gonna get that, and really keeps my mood up. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know how I feel. I don't really feel much. Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, I mean,
On a scale of 1 to 10, pretty high,
no, it's like
pretty low.
6.
6.
Yeah,
More than half.
yeah. We're still alive. I'm still alive at least. What about you?
I'm good. I got a huge new horn. I changed my armor. I've seen a golden dagger. I've directed a battle. What else could I possibly want?
This is like all of your bucket lists.
Oh
You
yeah,
basically
it's all
did
ticked.
it all.
It's all ticked. I'm gonna get money and fortune, hopefully in the capital. I'm good. I'm very good.
That's what he's promised.
Mhm.
But by the way, what is your name? Can we just keep calling you Chef? It's like,
Oh well, of course.
Oui, chef.
You can call me Chef if you like. But my actual name is Friedrich Polter.
ooh,
Oh.
Friedrich. And yet I'm the barbarian, and I'm the only one who's asking this poor man's name.
Sorry. It's a pleasure to know your name at last, to attach a name to your fine, excellent cooking.
Oh, of course. I'm not just chef actually. Before chef, I was alchemist Friedrich Polter.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
can you...
And in the bowl, he's kind of just like pressing some of these herbs.
Okay.
together now.
What sort of potions do you make? Do you still practice?
Oh well, I mean, I try and do it through my food now. I try and use the philosophy that all food has to have medicine. So I use the herbs and the garlic and ginger where I can, and broths, and to try and make my food medicinal for the people. The people in Olvi have very low constitution in comparison to everyone else because there's very little sunlight. I've seen scurvy myself, and I
Nasty.
try to make sure that nobody gets their teeth. They look awful with their
Yeah.
teeth falling out.
I've seen cases of it at the port town I'm from.
Absolutely, yes.
It's not nice.
Yes. So
Can you describe how he looks like a little bit more so that I can picture him?
Oh, of course, yes. So he's probably late 20s.
Okay.
He's got long dark hair, kind of slightly slicked back. He's kind of slightly stubbornly, but not really that bad. He's got quite muscular arms and shoulders because obviously he needs a lot of dough. He's quite smiley and he's got really bright green eyes. He's a very handsome man.
So is he one of those chefs that kind of his body weight belies the fact that he's a cook? He's not large. He's
Oh no, he's not large, and you see he's kind of got he kind of got 3/4 sleeves, and they kind of bulge ever so slightly at the top. He's got quite large
Muscle.
biceps, but still quite slim and slender.
he works out.
He works.
He needs the dough.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, strength!
Well, this put everything in another perspective.
This has got a crush.
Love.
When in the moment I hear the word alchemist, I'm like, I was just kind of like not ignoring, but only listening to what really meant something to me. But when it said that, I was like, and I was just, and as I always do, I started to talk with myself a little bit louder than I should. So
Okay.
Are you going
You-
crazy
Are you okay, my lady?
yes, yes.
Why are you smiling all of a sudden? Why are you smiling?
Do you have a fever, my lady? You seem to have been awfully red.
She needs some of your medicinal food.
Yeah, right? Oh, food!
Actually, my lady, I was wondering if you could help me.
Yes.
Let's give him some space.
I'm aware that I don't really want to use any of my fire potions myself. I was wondering if you would heat up this.
Oh, absolutely.
This pot. I'm gonna make you some tea. I'll give you
Oh.
some tea, and myself. It's really just for this journey. It's nice and calming. It'll help us to sleep, and things like that.
Oh, that's so needed actually. So I push my hand against the. You want to really have really hot or?
Boiling.
Okay, perfect. And I focus my intention in actually to eat metal. Like. You are be careful. It's extremely hot.
Sure. Then he kind of pulls these. He kind of had one of those wraps of kind of around his waist. He kind of unwraps it. He's like, and kind of grabs it.
You mean he doesn't pull out some oven gloves?
Mittens.
Look like Hagrid with a dragon egg. Pause. And you. It's quite mesmerising how he's treating this tea. He's kind of placing his hands above both of them and he's kind of swirling it in kind of circular motions, and you see him really focusing all his intention on just shaking this.
I think we're all kind of like amazed.
Mesmerised.
Thank you. Do you know what? I'm gonna try it before you.
Oh, I see.
It's actually very good.
Do we smell anything like?
Yes, it's very warming. It does smell quite herbal. Like it's quite there's quite a hint of lavender when you smell it in, but it's also smells a little bit bitter, leafy. Enjoy.
Oh, this is extremely good.
Just while we're sipping this, just coming back to what we were discussing before,
Yeah.
do you reckon you need help about that song? Maybe you can get the creative juices flow between all of ourselves and we could get something to do all together, really.
Oh!
Rather than just waiting and doing
Oh,
it.
gosh.
I don't know.
The chef says, "Oh gosh, if I knew that you wanted to get creative, I would have made a different tea."
Well, there's always tomorrow. We could start brainstorming something.
Yeah, we have
Me,
2
you-
months, you know.
You want to get involved in the creative process?
Hey, we don't have much else to do we?
Ah, I'm so proud. He's so busy lopping off heads and now
Yeah.
inner culture is coming out. Absolutely, it'd be my pleasure.
And I'm like, I'm very tired, so I think I'm just gonna rest a little bit. And I literally just kind of like
Good night.
like that. Try to.
The chef kind of picks up one of those kind of almost conquistador hats.
Okay.
Gives it a tap, and kind of a little bit of dust falls off. And he said, "I haven't been travelling in quite a while." And he puts it on his head, and it has quite a big feather on top of it. Kind of dips his hat and kind of falls asleep.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
nice.
this man!
I love
Oh.
this man is great.
Okay.
Good old Frederick, eh?
Or is it Friedrich?
Frederick, right?
Good old Freddy in the back.
Oh well, what time is it in the day? Is it? It's just foggy.
It's quite
Foggy.
foggy. You'd say that it's getting to early evening at this point.
I'll probably sort of snooze.
Can
He
I?
wanted to write a song with you,
Yeah,
man.
but he's
and
given
he
us
wasn't gonna-
he's given us a sort of sleep-inducing tea, so I'm probably feeling a bit knackered now after everything.
Okay, I realize that my intentions are not well met, so
They're very well met.
I will not try again.
It's the tea. We can do it tomorrow.
Can I peek out of the wagon to talk to Rebel or somebody? Or
Yeah,
I
of course you
reach-
can.
okay?
Yeah. It's
So-
you just have to kind of just like push the door
Okay.
open slightly. But...
So I just push it open slightly and I'm like, "How are you doing?" to Rebel.
Yeah, fine. It's quite cold, but you know I'm okay.
Do you want some tea?
Some tea.
Yeah, I mean the chef, that guy made the
Oh,
tea.
sweet.
Yeah, he made some tea. Do you want some?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
So I just go grab it.
it's nice. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of you're at a really slow trot at the moment, and Revel says we have to take it really slow around these parts because everything's quite heavy. We don't want to get stuck in the mud. So hopefully we'll get out of the swampy parts in the next couple of days, really.
Oh wow. Okay. Do you need a change? Do you want us to swap places? I mean, not that I know the road, but if we have to keep going straight, I might as well.
Yeah, I mean we'll probably ride for a couple more hours and then settle in. There should be a clearing up. If I remember rightly, there should be a clearing up, like a kind of eye-shaped one soon. So just let me know when you reach it.
Okay.
And she just grabs onto the side of the wagon, just kind of falls off the horse into the wagon.
And whilst we are going on, I turn to the king and I'm like, how are you doing? How do you feel about this?
Good, I'm very excited to go back.
Okay.
Yes.
How are you feeling about the horse and on the journey that we are doing? I mean, it must be weird for you to basically actually conduct this journey rather than being carried out, like carried around by other people.
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean, I do miss my comrade. We were very close. I'm feeling a bit solemn at the moment, but I will be fine. I'm just really excited to see Janice Town again and to hopefully see the stars. We don't really get to see many here, only the North Star, so hopefully very soon we'll get to somewhere a little bit nicer.
Okay.
He's really low energy in comparison to the way that you've seen him before.
Okay. So I try to cheer him up and I'm like, yeah, but everything is gonna be fine and we are all gonna get there safely and yes, you get what you want.
Roll persuasion?
8.
He's kind of just half smiles because he can see that you're trying. Like, you know, he doesn't believe it, but he's happy that you have attempted.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I just keep going silent.
Sure. Yeah. Could you roll perception for me, please?
No.
4.
You don't notice anything. Anybody doing anything else? Or you're both kind of
No,
having a
I'm
nap?
just snoozing.
No, I'm very on my own.
Just being rocked by the carriage.
The kind of a sleeping vessel. So how can you tell me how it is that you're currently sleeping at the moment?
I'm just sort of arms crossed, hat tipped over my head, legs crossed, just leaning against the wall.
Okay.
She wants to know at what angle my body goes flying.
And yourself?
And I'm not sleeping. I'm just with my eyes closed, but I'm really, really careful with any, noise or something.
You're
I'm
just resting your eyes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm on my right side.
Roll dexterity saving throw, please.
Means what?
No, just Marv.
It's me. Dexterity 20, but not natural.
What could have happened is the everything kind of swayed ever so slightly, and you almost fell on top of Talissa, but thankfully you kind of managed to pull yourself back into the centre.
And who knows what could have happened?
Touch me!
I wouldn't dare, only the chef can touch you.
These are just assumptions, okay?
Rumours. Horrible
Gossip.
rumours. So what happened? The carriage just shook?
Yeah, you just went over a bumpy bit.
Oh, okay. Whew, okay, well, go back to snoozing once I know everything's fine.
You see that the eye shaped
Okay.
kind of as you go in, you kind of are coming from the south into a set of trees that there was a camp here not so long ago that has just had the fire stomped out of it and a few things chucked everywhere, and you can see people have stayed in here but not for maybe 3 or 4 days.
Oh, okay. So I start slowing down the horses.
Sure.
I turn to the king and I'm like, I'm gonna wake up Revel and see if this is what she was talking about.
Sure.
So I turn my head and
So you see that Revel has her head on the chef's shoulder at the moment, just sleeping.
Oh!
I tap her on the shoulder like,
Yes.
I think we got where you told me to get to.
Oh, perfect. She pretty much jumps up and comes out of the place. It's like, oh, how was the ride? Okay.
Awkward.
Kent, what about you? How was sleep?
Fine. Strange dreams, but okay.
What do you mean?
Just really strange dreams. Just lots of darkness for some reason, like crawling around in the darkness. So
Did you hear anything about spiders? Did you see spiders or stuff like that?
No, just like almost like mud being on top of me and darkness, and it kind of just felt all-consuming. So anyway, just a dream. You know, we're in a strange place. You know, it is what it is.
If you say so.
And she looks around and she says, can you see that? Can you roll perception for me, please?
10.
You don't see what
What are you talking about?
She goes over and she says, I don't think that's... And she puts her hand through the air and it seems to hit something. She's like, I think there's someone here.
What do you mean, someone?
Do I hear?
Roll perception. Hitting it, and
6.
and then you just hit. Oh my! Something has me. I can't know something. Oh my god. Oh god.
I try to pull her.
Yeah, you're pulling her, but she like her arm is just like someone is also pulling her in the other
Okay,
direction.
so I shout towards her. I'm like, guys, come down.
Okay,
What's happening?
Jump
What's
in.
going on?
She's getting pulled into
and
something.
I do.
And I don't want to chop off
I
her
do
arm.
detect magic to understand what's going on.
Okay, yeah, you see someone's casting an illusion magic.
Okay.
Can
Can
I reach and try and touch the surface around where the arm is being pulled?
Yeah, roll investigation, please.
Investigation? Yeah. Natural one.
You. Okay, yeah, you. It's just air.
Just there. Oh, I don't understand. What's pulling it?
I don't know. I'm just seeing her getting pulled. That's why I called you.
So Rebel's gonna roll a strength check. She gets a natural 20 and launches her arm out.
Oh.
Unfortunately, kind of accidentally hits you slightly in the face. And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry.
That's fine.
What's going on? What?
It's
Are you
like-
okay?
And she just gets like the tip of her axe, and she's like, you can't see that. Can all of you roll perception, please?
14.
17.
9.
You can't see anything, but both of you can see that it looks like air, but it's kind of moving slightly. It looks like there's something there, but nothing's there.
I'm confused. What are we looking
There's
at?
something moving there, but I cannot quite put my finger.
I'm gonna use dispel magic now.
Okay, so what you're able to see is Kai and Soul. But Kai is no longer a dragon. She's in her human form.
What are you two doing here?
Who are these people?
Oh, Talissa, hi, hello.
You know each other?
Why do they know you?
Why can't we see you?
Shh, calm down. What happened?
Oh well, the place it didn't work out.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, they wouldn't let her in, unfortunately.
Why?
So they said that she's not a dragon, so she's not allowed in.
Oh, and I look
What?
towards her and I'm like, how are you? I'm extremely sorry about that.
I don't know what they're talking about.
She just this is the first time you've ever heard her speak, and well, not everything is meant to be, I suppose.
Well, but you don't have to have their, you know, you are who you are and you feel that you are. You don't need anyone else.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna get attacked, and everybody's gonna try and hurt me. So it's probably just best that I just forget about it.
Sorry, is this the dragon?
Yes,
that you met in the-
that's exactly.
There's
that's
a whole dragon in there somewhere.
I'm not a dragon. I'm just a lady.
Well, we've heard of she getting lifted off by a dragon, and well, I'm sorry, what's going on?
She's a druid and she can turn into a dragon.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So what are you doing here now? I mean, why were you grabbing Rebel? I mean,
Oh well, because she was poking me.
oh,
Well, I don't think she could see you.
I know, but we didn't want anybody to see us, so we're just walking around invisible. Now I can't be a dragon. There's too ladies alone at night, so...
And why can't you be a dragon? I'm sorry, but...
Well, they said I can't be a dragon because I'm not a dragon.
Well, but you can transform, so you can be a dragon.
Yeah, who says you can be a dragon if that's your calling? Who
Roll
cares what they say?
persuasion.
I'm gonna roll
shit.
persuasion as well because this is absolutely unacceptable.
24.
5.
26.
Nice.
I'm clearly the one that doesn't get it.
Sort of lifts up and says, "What can I show you to see if you
Yeah.
think that
Absolutely.
I'm
I mean,
like a dragon?"
I already know you, and I've never said that you were a human being.
I've never seen a dragon up close.
She kind of puts her hands together and her arms start turning into wings. She ducks her head down, and kind of this kind of tornado of almost like a wind kind of changes her into this like large grey dragon. And she was before quite timid, but you see that she kind of just very proud and upright
Woo!
now. She bows.
That is fucking cool.
That is a dragon.
I mean, I would slay that in different circumstances, but...
Sol says, yes, this is my beautiful dragon sister, but we don't know what to do now because there's nowhere that she's going to be safe.
Well, you can create your own place. Why not?
Yes, I suppose we could.
I'm sure there are plenty other druids or people or however you want to call them that can transform into dragons, then why shouldn't you gather them up?
It's a big world. You have each other.
Oh, yes, that's true.
And we have this king man here that is offering money to everyone. So you.
What if you came with us?
King Rolandus!
He could
Yes.
offer you protection.
What do you mean? Do you know him?
Yes, a lot of women who live in Memora know of King Rolandus.
Oh yeah, right. Because you're actually from Memora.
Yes, that's
King, can you come 1 second, please? We have one of your fans here.
He's got this little chicken wing in his mouth. He is covered in butter, like dripping down his clothes. He's like, brushing it in his head.
Sweats profusely.
Yes! And she's like, sort of looking at her sister, and her sister's like, hello, King Rolandus. He's like, hello, how are you? She's like, yeah, I'm good. I didn't think I'd see a king down here. You going back to Memora? And he's like, yes, eventually. I suppose I can. And he's looking at the dragon. He's like, what's going on here? There appears to be a dragon. Just a dragon.
And then I turn to them and say, see, he didn't realize that.
And
Wow.
and Kai kind of like turns her head slightly, and a little bit like a little puff comes out of her.
No, don't be bashful.
So King, this is the situation. These two friends of mine, they wanted to do something, but then other bad people didn't want them to do that something. So do you think that you could support them if they support you?
Yes, I might need a little bit more information than that.
So, and then I turn to them and say, I kind of like push her to speak to the king and like, no, come on, King, he's here and he needs our help, so just ask him whatever you want, okay?
So, Kai, as a dragon, kind of turns to the king and says, well met, I am Kai, I'm dragon. And he's like,
It's talking.
yeah, okay, you're a talking dragon. Yes, what do you need? And she says, well, I was told I wasn't allowed to be with the dragon people, and I have nowhere safe to call my own. He says, I mean, you know, Janice Town has every conceivable thing. I'm sure dragons will be absolutely fine. Yeah, I think probably it should be absolutely fine. Yes, yeah. And Kai and Sol like, great. Okay, I guess that's where we'll go next then. Fabulous.
You know, we are in the 7th era. I mean, dragons in cities? Yes, why not?
Just out of curiosity, how can I point? I'm looking towards Soil, Kai and Soul. Like, what's the connection between you and the king? Why do you know the king? Like, what's going on with him in the city? Aside from him being the king.
With the king in front of us, you're actually
Yes,
asking this
I'm clearly nosy.
The king is too bewildered by the dragon to really care. She says, "Well, yes. I mean, we thought that he would just take the throne, but he didn't, and we didn't really hear much of him. But we're really glad that he's alive and he's here. He's quite dreamy."
He blushes.
He hears none of this.
And then I turn towards Revel and say, what do you think about this situation? Do you think they can come with us?
I mean,
She's a dragon.
I know she's a dragon. I mean, it's
We
up
have
to
to
them.
feed the dragon.
I think she.
We are already feeding you.
I have my. I'm not gonna answer you. I'm talking to her.
Can you all roll perception, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
15.
19.
10.
Everything gets very cold very quickly. And you can see along the swamp this kind of almost frozen water turning into ice right next to you, as one of the wagon wheels actually falls into the ice, kind of cracking it as it's actually forming around it, and fog starts to just slowly envelop you. And Kai and Sol just say, "Thank you, but we need to go. Hopefully we'll see you in Janistown. We have maps here for you."
Oh,
But
thank you. And I
But
grab them.
you're a dragon. You can. This is nothing. You can help us.
"She's not actually a dragon, she's a druid." And she kind of like nods, the dragon kind of nods her head and kind of just like dance above.
Oh my god.
I mean, you got
You
good
can
friends,
fly.
don't you?
It's such a disappointment.
Call them friends.
I take them up and I look around me. Where is the chef?
Out of all the
Still in the
things.
carriage.
Okay.
He's just peeling potatoes. What?
He's cooking.
He's doing the important bit, alright? So
Is it still like that? Is it like stable or it gets colder and foggier?
I think we should leave.
well,
It's the fog is getting so close now you can't really see past your arms.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to. Am I close enough to the carriage I can fumble my way to it? Or am I?
so I think before we make
Yes.
any move,
Yeah.
last time we got like separated, we've almost managed to fuck all of ourselves up. So maybe we should tie ourselves, like
Yeah.
at least with something to stay together.
Okay.
Like, no?
Follow the sound of my voice.
All in calms.
I pull up the rope, like the proper one, the silk rope,
Okay.
and I throw it towards him,
Okay.
like where he's speaking. I'm like,
Do
get it?
Do I catch it?
Can you do a sleight of hand check, please?
Yeah. It is 11.
Just.
Just. Ooh.
Okay, so I got you. Now let me get the other one, and I
Okay.
throw. Alyssa, where are you?
I'm here. Can you?
I throw it towards.
Sleight of hand, please.
Well, so you
Natural
throw one
one.
rope to me and then a separate rope to him.
It lands in a place where you can't see it.
Oh gosh, I missed it. And I take my stuff, and I try to swing it in the air to see if I can find anyone.
Gonna bonk on the monster.
So I'm touching the carriage, yeah? And I've got the rope in the other hand, so I tie the rope to the carriage, to the door, so that he can follow it to the... Yeah, so follow the rope to the
Absolutely,
carriage.
yes.
Okay.
You certainly can.
So I try.
Can you do a strength check, please?
Oh no, I cannot pull them.
The carriage becomes sentient. Oh no, you don't.
12.
And the chef.
Yeah, I mean, as you're kind of grasping, you kind of pull the carriage and it starts to swing quite extensively.
It falls on me.
Gentle.
But everything's fine.
Okay.
I'm literally doing like that. Guys, can you?
Where are you? Hang on,
So
I know.
you feel like a hand grab yours, and Revel's like, "I've got you, don't worry."
Okay.
And Revel kind of goes to
Oh.
grab the back of
And
your
in the moment,
shirt.
in the moment she
And-
touches me, I'm like, oh, really? I'm triggered.
Okay, so this is a bit unconventional, but I'm going to cast Fairy Light towards the direction of her voice, and they need to do a Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And if you, in this case, oddly, I hope you fail it because it means you'll be outlined in a light and we can see you. So
Absolutely.
so you have to get.
7.
Sorry, yes, that's fine because it was 16 you needed. So
7.
yeah, Dex save 16, so you got it. So we can now see you outlined in a blue light.
An arrow hits you in the back of the shoulder.
Oh,
Ouch!
sorry, and that means that they have advantage as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, I was just trying to see where she is. But is there anything within 20 feet of her?
Nope.
At least we know where she is.
Yeah, I mean, somebody else does as well.
Guys, this is a serious situation.
But can I give her directions now that I can see where she is?
Well, you don't need to because Revel's got her hand
Yeah.
and she's attached to Orgorog.
Oh, okay, right.
Well, now we're all together.
Yes, and I have a hammer in my shoulder.
Sorry, I'll turn off the spell.
You take
Cool it off.
6 piercing damage
Ouch.
and 3 poison damage.
Oh no, poison
Ouch.
again. Can I just call off the fairy fire? It's a concentration.
You certainly
Yeah.
can.
Shall we hide in the carriage?
That was my plan.
Or shall we pull out the carriage and run away?
Now that I've done more bad than good, I'm climbing inside.
Can
the carriage
anyone, please anyone remove this thing from my shoulder, please?
now. Have they reached the carriage yet?
The fog seems to stop in a circle around the carriage and all of the horses.
Okay, I'm inside the carriage and I'm kind of trying to see everything.
So I pull out the arrow from your shoulder, or I try at least.
Of course you
Do I
can,
have to
yes.
roll anything?
Strength check.
Oh.
Please.
9.
You manage to take it out, but it hurts a lot.
Oh.
You take 2 slashing damage.
I'm no surgeon, I'm sorry.
Does it leave a fragment of the arrow in there as well?
No, it just cuts more when he's
Yeah.
pulling it
Oh
out.
gosh.
Get in, get in.
They're not barbed.
So I push her in the carriage and I'm like, try to stay there.
Get in, get in.
As you enter the carriage, you see Frederic.
In
Frederic.
French.
He's not French now.
Frederic.
He went from
Frederic.
French to
Is he French or
Friedrich.
German?
Who knows?
He's a
You know
master
what?
spy.
He's the master of the arcane. I know. And you see that his outfit's gone from a plain chef outfit to kind of this this leather armor that's kind of red and black, and he has a belt with lots of kind of bombs and potions attached to
What?
it, and he has a rapier pointed
I
to
wish.
the side.
I
where
wish I was normal.
he kind of just flicks around and he's like,
gosh.
"I'm ready."
I wish I was normal. So
Who
I
are
could...
you?
And he
Are
goes,
you the same guy? Are you that guy, the chef?
Friedrich.
Friedrich, yes.
Wait, okay.
Can you
are
please
you-
move
are you
on? I just want to take a seat. I am hurt. This hurts a lot.
She needs medical
My
attention.
lady, and he bows in front of you, just kind of pushing his kind of cape back, and he says, "I'm really sorry. This may sting." He kind of pours it over your shoulder, and the wound sort of starts to close up, but it really stings. He says,
You sure are a man of talent.
"Are you
Thank
saying you're a man of only one talent?"
Are you still trying
I
to
won't answer.
talk to him?
He's trying to be kind.
Yeah, no, I
to
get
kind
it.
of be like humility, being like, "I'm not that great."
No, you are.
He says, "Revel, I'm
Thank
ready." kind of like his rapier kind of goes through both of his legs, and he kind of grabs it with his other hand and kind of swings it around and kind of like is like, right, what's out there?
I turn to Reverend, I'm like, who is this guy? Like, why was he just doing the chef? He could have fought in the fucking battle.
By the way, did I get any hit point back from what I did or nothing?
No, it just closed up.
Okay, perfect.
For you.
Can I hear anything going on outside the carriage?
Roll perception.
Where is the king?
Well, we're gonna find out.
14.
You didn't do anything about the king, so.
14.
Yeah, you can hear just of like the freezing kind of.
Oh, the crackle, yeah.
But
Kinda
it's
coming
quite slow,
closer.
slow movement.
I don't wanna, I really don't, I mean, where is the king?
Where is the king?
Where is the king?
I
Where
thought
is
he was with you.
Fernandez?
Frederick,
Is he outside?
What, Frederick?
The
You
king is outside!
we need the king, Frederick!
King Landis! Your Majesty! Can you hear me?
Yes.
Where are you?
You need to come out here.
Okay, I'm coming, sire! I boot the door open and come out. Where are you? Let me follow your voice.
Roll dexterity saving throw, please.
Frederick, he can fight!
He can come with me! Oh, 25.
It's a little bit slippy. You can see you're now walking on ice, but you seem to be doing fine. In fact, you have almost the grace of an ice skater as you navigate
I'm figure
towards
skating.
King Rolandus.
I'm doing 8 shapes.
You grab Frederick's leg, like.
Can I hear him getting closer, or
Yeah.
I keep imploring him to shout? Where are you? Are you okay? Can I see him pointing? Can I even see him? What are you pointing at?
And in front of you, you see a large, bulbous spider
Oh.
with the head and body of a woman.
Okay.
It says, Marv the Marvellous, we meet at last.
I assume that you're the Spider Queen.
Hmm.
Oh, gracious one.
Roll perception, please.
Not natural 20.
Oh, okay. You see, as soon as you say Spider Queen, like, she's got very piercing yellow eyes, but behind those eyes, other eyeballs seem to kind of flick in different directions. Almost like there's eyes behind those eyes.
Oh. Well, you are certainly a very, very magnificent queen. Have we offended you? Can I take our friend here and go back to our carriage? I hope we're not intruding on your realm.
King? It is a land of queens.
Yes, of course, yes. This is just our friend. He doesn't belong here. We're actually taking him away from here, so we leave this land entirely to you. This is your place.
Roll deception, please.
30.
30?
Yeah.
Woof.
30!
Yeah, deception is 11 bonus,
Bold.
and I
So
got 19.
she walks towards you. She says, okay, well, if you are a friend, as you say you are, your hand.
Why? Sorry. I just want to get out of your way. I'm sure you.
So, the voice that now comes out of her mouth starts to reverberate through the trees. So it's like multiple people are saying this at once, and she says, "You dare defy a queen?"
No, sorry. Just a passing moment of idiocy.
Okay, so she.
And then I'm
grips,
kind of very subtly trying to get Rolandus to kind of go behind me.
So she grips onto your hand, and can you roll a Constitution saving throw?
I got 18. Not bad.
You immediately just feel like
Dead.
just so happy and relaxed. And like everything in the world is amazing, and almost like you're getting like the warm hug And what you're able to see now is the fog is starting to clear, and you see this large spider with the head and the body of a woman. And Marv, from head to toe, is turning completely jet black.
No way.
And he's kind of just slightly floating in the air as all of like the colour is almost oozing down his body, like onto the ground and freezing. Revel, seeing this, just literally runs, jumps, and just hacks for one of this woman's legs. Roll initiative, please.
Oh my gosh!
She is
Imagine.
very, very large. So you are within like 10 feet of her now. Because you've seen that the entire fog was just covering her body. Frederick grips onto one of the tinctures on his belt. He pops it open, shakes it, and just throws it, and this kind of purple bubbling acid just slides, just flings itself towards her. It hits kind of across the body, and she takes 12 acid damage. And he uses his bonus action to take a cloth and some poison and rub it on the end of his rapier. Kind of swings it around a little bit, chucks the vial to the floor, and that was his go. It's now Talissa.
He's the coolest. We all want to be like him.
I'm gonna go.
I would trade my life now.
I'm gonna go
What you?
2 beams, one for the face and one for the chest.
Perfect, okay.
So one is 21, 12.
Okay, the first one hits.
Perfect. And she gets 7 damage.
7.
Ugh.
Ogorog.
So I burst into rage. I charge towards where Revel is already hitting, and I'm like twice towards the same one.
Lovely. Roll to hit.
First one is 1. and,
Natural 1. Okay.
and the second one is
I don't
11.
lie. That's
Okay.
what.
So neither hit, but the first one you accidentally hit Revel.
Oh
Oh no!
And she takes 2 slashing damage and is like,
I am
"Ugh,
very sorry.
it's okay, friendly fire, I understand."
Oops,
And
that's
Frederick's
the rage.
like, Frederick literally like looks at you like,
I am fuming!
Marv, it's
Me?
your turn.
I wriggle helplessly and happily.
Okay, so you do a Constitution saving throw, please.
Right, okay. 6.
You still feel like everything's fine. So it's now her go. She is going to turn to Revel, and suddenly out of her mouth grows very long fangs that seem to be dripping this dark forest green poison from her mouth, and she just tries to bite down into Revel's neck and hits. She then does it again and hits. And Revel takes 7 damage from that. It is now Frederick's turn. Frederick, who is going to... He tips up his rapier to kind of push up the poison up the blade a little bit more, flicking it round, grabbing it with another hand and plunging it into the side of her abdomen.
I look at him and I'm like, I get it, you're cool, but get on with it.
I mean, you could be doing such cool hits if you wanted to.
I don't need to.
He screams jealously.
It misses.
Aw.
Okay, it is...
Oh, that was cool, wasn't it?
It's now Talissa's
There
turn.
is some
Yeah.
serious right.
Okay, I will try again with one head. So one is 19, and the other one is 18 plus 7. So
Both of them hit.
yeah. So one is 10 and one is 8.
Okay.
Boom. Boom.
Very good. Okay, you see that it's kind of scorched some marks kind of around her chest. And it is now Orgorog's turn.
So I try again.
Okay.
Can you decapitate Rebel?
It's 15, and the other one is 22.
The second one hits.
Okay. 9.
9. Lovely. It is now Marv.
Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
I really want to come and slap you. But I don't want to avoid attacking her. I'm like, fuck.
To wake me up or
Yes.
to tell me I'm an idiot? I'm still happy. There's a silver lining to everything.
Yeah, you're still happy. He only now has colour from the waist down. Everything from the top of his head isn't black anymore. It's kind of dulling to this kind of grey.
Well, at least I'm happy. I don't know anything about it.
Revel looks at this spider and is like, I don't think I can do this. And her hands are like physically like really, really shaking, and she's like, and she's paralysed in fear.
Oh dear. Well, if only I was around to help with that.
Can you roll perception because you're nearest?
19.
It doesn't seem to be by choice.
Okay, do I see anything else around? Okay.
Okay, it is now Spider Lady's turn, and Spider Lady is again gonna bite into Revel.
Oh gosh.
She hungry.
And misses both times. Friedrich's turn, who is going to...
Can I shout at him while during his turn? Because basically I just want to tell him that I think somebody might have got into her, like a poison or something. But do I have to wait my turn to do it, or...?
You would have to wait
Okay.
your turn. Yes, yeah. He's pretty perceptive of the situation going on though, and he can see that usually Revel would have attacked by now. So he just like goes to really thrust into this spider lady. And misses. So it's now Talissa's turn.
Yep. I'm gonna go again. Face and chest. Natural 20!
Yay!
And 16 plus 7.
Okay, so both hit, roll 3 damage dice.
Yeah. 5, 5, so 15.
15. Lovely.
Amazing.
The Eldritch Blast is kind of like bubbling kind of the skin, but on the top of her
Such an
head, kind
amazing
of
thing.
down to the shoulder.
Ah.
She's like, yeah, and these very large fangs can be seen.
One more? Do you want more?
She kind of turns, she goes like, Ogorog.
So I turn towards the cool guy. I'm like, cool guy, I think Gravel is getting poisoned. Do you have any fancy things to have a drink? Because I don't think she's acting natural, and maybe she's getting poisoned by this thing.
Mm-hmm. Heard you.
Okay, so I do that.
Let him mentally
Any bonus
process.
actions?
You're a C.
I slap. I try to slap Marv. I'm like trying to wake him up or something.
Did you say I was suspended in midair?
Yes.
Can he reach?
Yes. He would probably be able to hit like
My
the
leg.
back of your knee.
Well, I try to like pull him, and I'm like,
I'll let you do that at a disadvantage.
So what was it?
14.
Okay. Yeah, you manage to kind of grab, but as soon as you grab, you feel like this darkness kind of
Ooh.
Oh.
come like up your arm.
Jeez.
So, Constitution saving throw.
Ouch, no!
Oh,
That's
oh,
what
that's
I
just
do.
fancy.
Okay, and it appears to kind of almost fizzle like ash kind of coming off your skin.
I'm really trying hard.
You are.
He's become so benevolent this episode.
He's come such a long way.
Okay.
You know, people can change. Maybe.
Marv, roll Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, 19.
Yeah, you're starting to feel better, definitely, like more yourself, but in more yourself that you feel like you really want to murder someone, but in a really satisfying manner. Like you're just thinking of blood and it's just like warming and soothing your insides.
Oh, yes. Great. Good. Does anything else happen?
Unless you can take bonus actions.
Bardic inspiration.
Okay. Well, am I conscious enough to even do that?
Yeah, you've dropped to the ground now.
I'll drop to the ground.
Yeah.
Can I see, or am I a little bit disoriented?
You're not disoriented. No, you are.
Okay.
In fact, you're very focused.
And he's just right next to me. It's like, thank you, comrade. I'm going to give you some bardic inspiration.
But as he's saying that in his normal voice, it comes out like, "Thank you, comrade. I'm giving you bardic inspiration."
You alright?
So creepy!
Absolutely fine. Let's kill this thing.
I'm absolutely fine. Now let's kill this thing. It's now Revel, who is failed her Constitution saving throw and literally drops the axe out of her hands. And it's like her hands are like physically shaking, and she's like got her hands on her head and just says, "Close her eyes." And it is now the Spider Lady's turn, who is going to bite you and hits once.
Okay.
You take 14 damage. Yes.
Shit.
And can you do a Constitution saving throw, please?
Natural 20.
You feel like there was like an anxiety that was gonna kind of hit you right in your chest,
Yeah.
and it kind of just dissipates.
Oh.
Okay, it's now Friedrich runs over and picks up Revel's axe and kind of like puts it in the kind of the slot on her back, and is like trying to pull her away from the battle. So he's going to do a strength check and passes, but because they're both moving away, the Spider Lady has a chance to attack both of them. So she bites both of them. Only one manages to hit, and it hits Friedrich. And he takes 11 damage.
Ouch.
And has to do a Constitution saving throw. Passes, kind of clutching his neck, but he's still dragging her away from the battle. It's now Talissa's turn.
So about the dust of dryness,
Mm-hmm.
how much did Elena give me?
A whole bag.
Okay. Okay. Is there any water around me? Like proper water that I can use for that?
What you stood on?
Yeah, but it's frozen.
I mean, it's your
I
thing.
don't want to risk. No, I don't want to risk. Yeah, I'm just
So
gonna...
we have 2 weapons that we should be using.
I know,
and we're
but-
not using any of them. No, I'm
I
just
know,
saying. I'm
but
just saying that it's
just
impossible.
to... What if I spit in my hand?
You are more than welcome to try.
No.
Just building it up.
Is there any way I can cast Fireball so that the fire damages only the Spider Queen? What if I do that behind
You
her?
could probably do it behind her.
Yeah,
yes.
I will do that. So
Yeah.
she needs to do Dexterity saving throw 15.
She passes.
So it's half damage,
Mhm.
right?
Okay, so if you want to roll 4d6 for me then,
Yeah.
please.
13.
13 damage. Lovely. Can you all roll Dexterity saving
Oh.
throws?
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Never trust the DM.
No, the saving throw.
Never trust the DM.
Never. 12.
Shit.
15.
33.
You two fall into water because the fire has melted all the ice.
no.
Oh no! I am an idiot.
Is it deep? Is this
You don't have to worry about water now.
Literally.
Does is the spider not affected?
Nope.
Are we... Is it like... How high is the level of the water?
Probably like your shins, like halfway to your knees.
Okay.
But very unpleasant.
But we are all wet, I guess. Because we didn't expect that, so...
We're
I'm like-
demoralised.
It's kind of not really wet. It's more sludgy because it's kind of muddy, kind of thick water.
Okay.
You're fine. You're kind of like teetering on the edge of the rest of the ice and kind of half of your boot almost in the mud.
Thank goodness
but you're
this is
okay.
a swamp and not a lake.
Okay.
Well, good job.
Orgarok.
So I go into frenzy. So
Okay.
from the next turn, I'm gonna have 3 attacks, and
Okay.
when the rage ends, I'm gonna suffer 1 exhaustion.
Okay.
And for now, it's just 2. Again, at the same leg. One is 14, and the other one is 17.
Neither hit.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay.
Ah.
Marv the Marvelous.
I'm gonna run up to Revel and I'm gonna plant a hand on her and I'm gonna give her a bout of heroism, which makes her immune to being frightened.
Are you all facing towards the Spider Queen at the moment, or are you able to kind of see what's going
No,
on
I think
behind
we're
you?
all.
I'm facing.
Well,
Okay.
I'm looking directly at Revel.
You
as I'm-
are the only person who's able to see that as you touch her and you imbued her with this heroism, her eyes kind of glimmer this kind of dark black in this kind of this murderous smile kind of
Oh my
forms,
god.
and she's like, "Yes, Marv, you're right." Kind of pulls out her axe.
She's talking like I was. I well, still am, presumably.
Yeah. And it's now her turn, so she gently pushes you away. And as she kind of touches you, you feel a slight cold on her touch, but it's warming to you. You're kind of happy about this. And she runs in to kind of swing very boldly at the Spider Queen. And she misses both times. And it's now the Spider Queen who is again going to bite down at you twice. Both times she hits. So you take 11 damage again. Can you do a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yeah. And now I'm gonna use that one's luck in case this doesn't work. 12. So it adds 8 to this.
So 20 in
yeah.
total. Yeah, that's fine. You're okay.
Woo!
Shake it off.
Okay. Frederick is going to do a Constitution saving throw. And passes. He pops a vial. And he, kind of understanding the general situation that's going on, kind of tries to pour some onto you, kind of on around like your shoulders.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Nothing.
So that's it.
So I grab my hand and I take water from the river and I take the dust and I use just a little bit in my hand. What am I able to see? Does it absorb the water?
Yeah, it absorbs the water, into kind of like this little tiny cube.
Okay. And I take it and I throw it towards the queen.
Okay, can you roll a damage roll, please, d20?
7.
Okay, it misses.
I am
Are
really
you throwing stones now?
I am really desperate at this point because I only have 16 hit points left. I'm wet and I'm
You're
really-
hungry.
I'm hungry, always hungry. I'm really struggling right now.
Okay. Your turn, Orgoroth.
So I attack 3 times at her legs.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm gonna go through. So one is 24.
That hits.
The other one is 8, but I'm gonna roll Bardic Inspiration.
Oh,
Lovely.
yes.
12
Doesn't hit.
is 20, not natural.
Yes, so 2 hits.
Yes. 6, and the other one is 11, so 17 damage.
17. She's looking slightly worse for wear now. There's very limited amounts of her body that don't look wounded.
Oh, okay.
So, Marv.
I am going to cast Fairy Fire at her directly. So could she do a Dex saving throw of 16, please?
She passes.
Well, in that case, who's nearest to me at the moment? Still Revel, or she's kind of run off to fight
Frederick.
Frederick? I'm gonna give him a bit of healing word. 7 hit points.
Okay, it's now Revel's turn, who goes to swing
Sorry.
twice. And gets a natural 20 for one of them.
Hmm.
Ooh, child.
So, gives 10 damage. And it's now the spider lady who puts her hand out towards Marv. Can you do a Constitution saving throw, please?
My favourite. One with the smallest bonus. Oh dear, 3.
Your body of its own volition just starts to move towards the Spider Queen.
Oh my gosh.
You're kind of floating happily in the air, and this from the moment that you felt the natural pull, it's like you feel this natural base murderous instinct just burning through every cell of your body, and you are feeling marvellous. Okay, that's her turn. Okay, it's now Frederick who is gets another bomb, shakes it up and launches it, trying over your head towards the Spider Queen, so has to do it as disadvantage. And misses, unfortunately, but doesn't hit you.
And your head explodes.
Take a step to get outside the water because this is really becoming too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I target the Spider Queen's head. Okay, for both of them. Thing. So one is 18 plus 7. One is 19.
Both hit.
So 18 in total.
Woof.
18 and 12.
Yes.
So a couple of her legs that were kind of upright, have kind of just fallen lifelessly on the floor, and are sort of slowly turning to ash through everything. But she's not dead.
Okay.
Or Grog.
3 attacks at the same leg that I'm trying to chop off.
Wait, so the legs all disappeared, or the ones that were just targeted?
Yeah, just two.
Oh.
Kind of two of the back ones are kind of just shriveled and kind of turned to ash.
Okay. 11.
Use the tray.
Yeah, because that changes everything.
Yeah.
One is 15, and the other one is 18.
Okay, none of them hit.
What? Better though. I've got to treat them with
I am
respect.
useless, like completely useless. I am really feeling down.
I know.
Aw.
Marv.
Me. Am I just floating towards her still?
Yeah, so Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. 14.
You don't escape, and you can still see that the last bits of colour kind of just going to the top of Marv's boots.
Oh.
It's now Revel, who again is going to slash at the kind of the leg next to the one you're attacking, and hits both times. One hits, and as she slices the leg off, the large spider abdomen starts to kind of crumple, like kind of almost like a squashed up piece of paper, as it kind of turns to ash, as a young woman just falls to the floor with both of her hands like this, of looking up at you, and you're able to see, and you don't feel there's no compulsion towards you anymore, but you're able to see when you were looking at her eyes and you saw the yellow and you were able to see the pupils behind. These are the pupils of the young woman. It kind of drops to the floor.
So all of my murderous instincts have flushed out now, have they?
Didn't say that.
Didn't say that. I'm just not compulsed.
You were just not compulsed towards anyone anymore.
Okay, good.
The woman's turn, who puts her hands up across her body, and fog just from the top of her body to the bottom, and she disappears. Well done.
She escapes.
I don't feel well at all.
Am I still discoloured?
You are, yes, and you're kind of walking very sure of yourself, like you're one with the darkness and the fog around you. You're kind of going around touching like the leaves kind of around you, and the reason I'm saying this is because you don't feel like yourself, so you feel like someone else is in control of your body. So as you're kind of walking around, touching these leaves, you're just feeling really amazing. Like, you could just continue to fight and fight and fight.
But I feel like I'm a powerless observer to this alternate persona.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you all roll perception, please?
16.
15.
Okay, both of you are able to see that Marv's eyes are starting to turn yellow.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
And
What does this mean?
from the ashes of the old abdomen start to uncrumple and start to move towards Marv's
Oh.
frame.
No.
And that's the end of the session.
Oh,
you
you
killed me!
me!
Oh.
I am the new Spider Queen.
Yeah, working.
So thank you to our wonderful explorers and the amazing
We're
Marvelous
destroyed.
Ogorog and Talissa, who don't know whether they're coming or they're going. And thank you so much for joining us. Is Marv going to be the next Spider Queen? Yas Queen? Who knows? So join in next time where we're going to see just what happens. And for all of us here at Dicemension, we bid you adieu.
Adieu.
Bye guys.
Bye.